everyone, welcome to Room 212 News, your place to find out everything that's going on in our school and in our classroom this coming week. This coming Thursday is going to be our first curriculum night and first PTA meeting. We would like to invite you to come out to hear all the great things that our PTA has planned for this year and to hear from me about all the different curriculums that we use in our classroom and all the different things that your child will learn this year. So it's just going to be a time for us to have a brief overview of the new curriculums that we're using and the standards that will be covered in our classroom this coming year. In order to reduce the size of people and the number of people in the building at one time, we are asking you to come according to your last name. So if your last name is A to L, we would like you to come between 5 and 6:15. And if your last name is M to Z, we would like you to come at 5:45 to 7. Now, it's important that you, this is not really a floating event. There will be like a presentation from PTA and a presentation from myself in our classroom. So please make all effort to come at your assigned time and stay for the majority of the time if you're able to. Just a reminder that our vocabulary words do go home on Monday on the back of your child's folder, and the quiz is on Friday. Students do have to take the quiz regardless if they've studied at home or not. So please make sure that you take some time during the week just to study those words. Again, they don't have to know how to spell them. They just have to know the word meaning. Hearing and vision screenings will be this Friday. So please make sure that if your child does wear corrective lenses, that they wear those to school on Friday so that we get the most accurate reading of their eyes. Also, one more reminder to please get the Tar Heels Go Walking field trip permission form signed and returned to school as soon as possible. Again, that is a county-sponsored field trip and has a $0 fee associated with the trip. Also, if you're interested in volunteering as a parent chaperone, make sure to check the box at the bottom of the form. Up next is looking ahead. We're going to take a look at a few things that are coming up in the future of our classroom, not just this week. Our school is hosting a volunteer training on September 21st and on September 22nd. On tongue twisted today. On September 21st, it's happening in the morning, and on September 22nd, it's happening in the evening. In order to be able to volunteer as a parent chaperone on any field trip or to come into our building as a parent volunteer, you do have to complete the orientation provided by our family liaison. She has said that if you're unavailable on those 2 days, that she would be more than happy to set up a Zoom meeting with you and do it virtually one-on-one. So just indicate on the form whether or not those days work, and if not, a day that would work for you. In the dojo message, there will be a Google form link for you to click on and sign up for that volunteer training. Also, put on your calendars our Tar Heels Go Walking field trip. It's a walking tour of downtown Wilmington where students will learn about the historical landmarks and historical buildings of our city. It is taking place on October the 12th, and it will be a majority of the day field trip, so we'll be off campus the majority of that day. So just mark your calendars for October 12th as we are going on a Tar Heels Go Walking field trip. Up next, we're going to go to the Superhero of the Week wheel to find out who this week's Superhero of the Week is. Congratulations to Aiden. Aiden is this week's Superhero of the Week. Aiden is doing a fantastic job in our classroom, following the storm expectations and just really making sure that he's doing exactly what is expected of him in our classroom. I do want to give a shout out to everyone in our classroom though this week because we are doing a fantastic job following storm and following the expectations that are set from our classroom and our school. So a big shout out to everyone, but an even bigger shout out to Aiden for being this week's Superhero of the Week. Up next is Curriculum Corner, where you're going to find out everything that we're going to learn this week in our classroom. This week in reading, we are continuing our launching unit in reading fundamentals. Students are still learning about what Reader's Workshop is and how that will look in our classroom, as well as setting goals and really evaluating themselves as a reader and understanding what a good reader does, what a good reader sounds like. And so we're continuing that unit in our classroom this week. In math, we are continuing to talk about multiplication and division. We're really using pictorial models and manipulatives for students to really grasp the understanding of multiplication and division. We're not doing much rote memorization, meaning we're not just studying facts. We're really learning and really evaluating what multiplication is. In science this week, we're still talking about plants, but this week we're moving into pollination and pollinators. So students will learn about the importance of pollination and will also learn about some of the key pollinators that are in our region. And then finally in writing, we are beginning our first week of our personal narrative unit. So students will learn and read about personal narratives and be thinking about a personal story and a personal memory that they would like to write about as their first official writing piece in our classroom. We also are starting our new Phonics program this week, Foundations, where students will learn cursive, blends, digraphs, and all the interesting things about the English language. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. If not, we'll see you right back here next week for another episode of Room 212 News.